Hey, we're Saints. Father Chris here. Welcome to our Crucifixional live stream. Glad to have you beautiful people with us on this glorious Monday. As you probably saw in headlines last week, former President Trump is back in the news. Back in the news or still in the news? The guy loves the news. He's always in the news. And this time, as I'm sure you know, he was indicted on, charges of hush money. He's gotten himself in a real stormy situation, and he is, was arrested, thumbprints, all that kind of stuff. His response, he always has a response, was that they're out to get me, and there is this whole movement. He called it, I think he said like hashtag get Trump, right? Like there's been books written about it. The way he's talking about it is that there is people in what he calls the swamp who are angry with whatever he did or didn't do, and they're out to get him. They're looking for vengeance and wipe him off the scene and whatever. And I'm not really interested in that story so much because, you guys know me, I'm not super political and don't care about that stuff too much, really. But it made me think as I was following it, it's like, don't we as people struggle with the temptation towards vengeance? Do we want to, if somebody does something to us, do we not feel that innate desire, that really primal desire to get them back, and to repay like for like, and or maybe even do worse, like they did this, we're gonna one up them. This pull to vengeance is a powerful human urge because we want to preserve ourselves, we want to preserve our reputation, our identity, all of those things. God, however, is saying, look, I'm looking for something different. I don't want you to deal with vengeance. I'll take care of vengeance. You show love, right? Like there's this beautiful verse in Romans chapter 12. Paul is talking about vengeance. He says, never repay evil for evil. Leave it to the Lord, right? I'm going to read it to you from Romans 12, verse 19. Beloved, never avenge yourselves, but leave it to the wrath of God, for it is written, vengeance is mine. I will repay, says the Lord. And so in some sense, God is saying to us through the Apostle Paul, hey, warrior saints, people may offend you or hurt you or do something to you, and your temptation may be to get them back. I'm telling you, I'll take care of it at the end of time. You continue steadfastly on the way of the warrior saint. You remain stout as a soldier of Christ. Don't worry about getting people back. Now, that's very easy for me to stand here in front of these cameras and say to you. However, in real life, it's often very difficult to do that. So how do we overcome that? Really, I used the word earlier, primal urge to avenge ourselves against someone. How do we overcome that desire to get them back? I think the answer to that question is a complicated and simple one, if I can use both words. We have a tremendous gift for you. At warriorsaints.org, we have a program that will help us learn how to become warrior saints, but also to have a mindset that recognizes I don't need to get someone back. I'm not worried that someone came after me. I'm not offended by that. Here's a big one. I don't take that personally, right? Even when it is personal, or even if it feels personal, we don't want to take things personally, because when we can overcome that primal urge to pay back someone in kind, we're close, man. We're a lot closer, at least, to being a Christ-like crucifixional warrior saint. And I want that for you, because I don't want us in this very fractured world, which is, as you know, it's angry out there. We don't want to be constantly overwhelmed by that. So if you're ready to put that stuff aside and start walking on the way of the warrior saint and become more and more of a crucifixional hero in your own life, it's pretty simple. Visit us at warriorsaints.org. Subscribe to the Way of the Warrior Saint. Watch the videos. Love you. We're going to be back tomorrow. Keep walking on the way of the Warrior Saint.